Hi guys, good evening. Welcome to the Women in Tech June meetup. So before going to the today's session, I will give you guys a brief introduction about what we are going to do here. Actually, we have set up this Women in Tech June meetup, Women in Tech forum in Sri Lanka to inspire and to motivate the ladies who are working in the IT industry, and also for the undergraduates or for the students that have passed out from schools to excel their career in the IT industry. So that's the purpose of having this group or the meetup. So today we have two awesome ladies joining with us to share their experience in the HR field, plus a tech lead who is working in the software development industry. So you can post your questions in Facebook, in YouTube, and we will be able to answer that. So before starting our sessions today, we have Sarah next. So she will be joining with us to give an idea about Gapstars. She's working as a HR manager in a leading software development company in Sri Lanka. All of you, most of you know about Gapstars. So, Sarah, we like to know the Gapstars culture and how you guys are helping the girls or the ladies in your company to excel their careers.
Of course. Thank you so much for the introduction, Hansamali. Good evening, everyone, and glad to be a part of the Women in Tech June meetup. So, as you guys may already be familiar with Gapstars, we are a Dutch tech scale-up company, and we're a Dutch software company. What we do is we partner with Dutch tech scale-ups in order to help them build remote teams for their specific companies. So at Gapstars, we actually, since we are anyway in the sphere of building remote tech teams, we've always been very supportive from the beginning of including anyone who has the right kind of talent, the top talent into our teams. So with that, we've also been very supportive on building teams where we recognize people for their talent and nothing else. So with that comes the options of working from home, remote working, and an empathetic approach to a culture and to a working environment, which will help everyone to come together in a cohesive manner. So with Gapstars, we've always been very supportive of women coming on board. And you will see that as we have Uthpala, who joins us next, to speak a little bit about her experience at the company as well. And in terms of what Gapstars does, and in terms of how we can support people to further come out and to really upbring the women in the tech sphere, we're more than supportive in terms of upskilling, in terms of being flexible with work times. And yeah, we just have a culture which is more than happy to bring people on board to make sure that we create an atmosphere that is diverse and inclusive. So without much further ado, I'll be happy to introduce Uthpala, who is a software engineering lead at Gapstars. She's been with us since 2015, and I'm sure she'll be glad to share a little bit about her experience as well. Uthpala, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sarah. So, hi guys. As Sarah said, I've been working with Gapstars for a long time. And apart from that, I must tell a little bit about myself. I'm a tech lead in my designation, but yeah, I'm a techie mom actually. So I'm going to give you some tips about how tips about balancing your work and private life. Like how do you how to not get bored in your work life, and tips for motivate yourself, how you should how you can work in a male dominant environment, and how to choose your workplace wisely. So first let's talk about balancing private life and work life. So these are the things I've I've been doing, uh, keep this balance between work and private life. So first thing, I keep to-do lists. So that is mainly prioritizing your work and keeping these to-do lists. So you can keep these to-do lists for both your work related stuff and as well your private stuff. So just keeping two to-do lists. So actually, like when you can things prioritize, so you don't have to worry about forgetting stuff. When you're busy with your work, and then you don't have to worry about forgetting your personal stuff, like say buying something your child's homework, so something needed for your child's homework, so you don't have to worry about that. So it's a really helpful thing for me to keep these like managing everything. Yeah, so also we should be able to prioritize our work, like both, in this case also both working and the private stuff. We can actually like understand what is urgent and what important, and what is urgent but not important, what is important and not urgent, and like stuff not urgent and also not important. So according to this criteria you can prioritize actually your work. So uh, this is like something real, that this is something really helpful for me to balance my work and private life, and also not to miss my work, not to like to do my work on time, etc. So also when balancing your work and private life, you should know, like manage your time, like set a hard deadline, the timeline for your work hours. So like learn how to leave work at office and go to home, because you always can like you are coming back in tomorrow, right? You don't have to carry your work to home. So just learn how to do that. And also like you don't have to uh, you know do everything for everyone. Remember that, like when you're working in teams, like you don't have to you learn to say no some stuff, like you have to help others and also learn to say no. And like even in your private life, don't try to be the super mom, like you can like in my case I have a son, like he's schooling and he comes with all these school homework and stuff. Like I'm letting like I'm just helping him to like manage them alone. So just I'm not like, just don't try to help them too much. Just don't try to be the super mom. You like let them be independent and handle those things themselves as well. So like eventually they will learn, they will not depend on you for those things, and they will learn how to handle these things independently. uh, yeah. And yes. uh, Also, like when working like especially in IT industry, we most of the, like 99% of the time we work teams, right? So like trust your teammates and let them work. Like if you are a lead, trust your teammates and let them do that. Like, and also if you're a junior, help others. And like if you are overloaded, just express it. Like you can inform your lead, or else, like you can simply say no, I can't do that, it's out of, like it's too much for me, like I mean the workload wise. So you can do like act wisely on those things. And especially when you're like at the beginning, when you're choosing your working place, you can consider all these things, like uh, for example, you can consider the work hours. Okay, if you are expected to work for extended hours, okay, like it shouldn't be a habit, like it'll really matter your private life as a, as a woman, as a girl. So you should consider those things. And also like options you have for working from home, like it's a really important thing these days, because like if you are like, when you get married and when you have kids, so it's going to be a really valid option. Not like, not every day, not as a like a full-time working from home, but like when you need, like having that option is really helpful. That helped me a lot actually. When especially when my son was small, like that was the best option I had. uh, uh, Especially, I must say, I was working with Gapstars at that time as well, so that was one of the best options I had. uh, Also, the you can, like when you're choosing your workplace, you can look for all like you can go for all the reviews from female other girls, like there are a lot of forums and these places you can, and also you can try to find someone who works there, like we have friends, right? So try to get reviews and see how they treat people, like uh, like how they help you to manage cope up with your work stress, like those events, like parties, all these things. I think you may feel like that, oh, okay, these things are marketing stuff. No, that's not. It really helps. Like it is your work stress as well. Like you uh, we you need this, like it's like it's not that you have to be a really party person, but yeah, these small events, like even having a Vesak lantern competition is like something really ease up your this work stress and all. So eventually that will help for you to balance your work and your life, like you don't get so stressed and all. So these things, I think, like these are the tips that I have for you to keep the balancing between your work and private life. And also, I would like to share about some stuff about some tips about not getting bored or emotionally down. Like I've seen so many girls that getting emotionally down, they are having a bad days, like at work, nothing goes, nothing is going well, those kind of days. But yeah, we know that we girls are a bit emotional, but yeah, like uh, these are the tips I have for that. Don't take things too personal, actually. Like don't take everything personally. Like if you're say your lead, team lead, or other teammate, like if they are pressing you for something, just don't take it personally. And also uh, you should be able to push them back, like if you are too much pressurized for your work, push them back. Okay, if you need if you are if you're like, okay, if you need this by this time, okay, this going to be only there, like you will get it with some issues, kind of feedback you can give and push them back, right? Just learn to how to do that. Like I know that it's not 100% possible sometimes, but like you can eventually do that, like don't let others uh, to ruin your peace of mind. And also celebrate your small achievement, like of course you will get to celebrate like as a team as well, but like as a uh, individual you also can celebrate. Like not, you don't have to do very big things. You can just if you if you saw fix some bug, say like some tough bug, you were struggling with it for like a few hours, and then finally when you fix it, just celebrate it. Like do, like buy an ice cream for you, just listen to a good like some heart touching song for you, like so then you will eventually start loving your work, like you will start enjoying your work. um, Also, there's another tip from me, that try to participate in the office events you have, actually. Like if they are organizing things, try your best to participate on them. You may have personal commitments, and you may not be able to participate everything, but there try to be there at least for like halfway through all, or like if you can for the full event. So then that also will help you, get on with each other and, get to know your teammates, the other people. So then we are like, humans are community people. Like, I mean, they love to be in communities, right? So these things, I think, help you to enjoy your work. And also some other important thing is like just lift others, like help other female, like your female teammates, lift them up. So then eventually you will receive the help as well, like when you need it mostly. So uh, and um, yes, and some other tips that I was forgetting this thing, but yeah, how to work in male dominant environments. I think this is something important. Like when you are in your teams, like you might be the only female developer, or like a person who is working. So sometimes it can be harsh, like it can be hard. So like some tips for you to balance that thing. Uh, be resourceful, actually, like read and get yourself resourceful, like you read, know about things, know about, like if you're working in like some some particular technology, so learn about libraries, learn about techniques. Like you don't have to spend uh, separate time for that. You can learn while you're working. So just be resourceful, and also try to act fast and think fast. So uh, that also will help, especially when you are in in meetings, and like when you can exhibit your your capabilities. So then like people will know you will understand you are not a weak person. And also uh, set your boundaries, learn to say no, especially in this male dominant environment. I have seen like unnecessary jokes, and you will be the bite of for them. But yeah, if you are uncomfortable, just say no, like set that boundary. So if they are coming over the limit, react, just tell them no, keep that limit. And also believe in yourself and respect yourself. So then eventually you will earn the respect from them as well. Yeah, like you don't have to, you don't have to be afraid of male. Like there are very nice people, and they are like helping very much, like in like in work life, and all these things. I think you all have experiences on that. But yeah, don't be afraid, but just keep your limit. um yeah. And uh, yes, I think also how to I'm just sharing some other tips about how to select a good working environment for girls. I think I talked about this in the previous thing as well, like when balancing your work and private life. Actually, these two are connected. Like your workplace should be helping you to balance, keep that balance. Like it shouldn't be a place where like forcing you to commit your private life over to your work life. So choose it wisely, like uh, uh, check for your working hours, and is it flexible, and what are the options you have, working from option, and those kind of things. And read reviews, like get feedback from other female. And also like you can maybe you can ask directly from your recruiter or the HR, like when you are in the interview, like uh, see for companies who offer like trainings and those kind of stuff. So it's a really important thing, because like as when you as we are, uh, your kids are growing up and your other personal commitments getting stuck up. So then uh, you might not have time for these trainings and reading all these articles, following tutorials, those things. So if your employees offering you some trainings, so that will be a really good thing. So then you can learn while you're working, so you don't have to spend your private life on that. So those things are really important when you're choosing employer. um these things, I think, um, which I can give you as as tips for this, as a techie mom. If there's anything, if you want to ask from me specifically, uh, Hansamali.
So we don't get any questions from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you very much for your session. Actually, I really enjoyed, and some of my fears also you have resolved with your feedback. And I want to check with you something. So,
Mm-hmm.
how do you update your technical stack as well as improving the skills in people management, client communication, and planning? Because, especially, you are a tech lead and you are working with the team and you are promised to the deadline. So, how do you work on these areas?
Yes, handling team. Okay, so some tips that I follow, like understand your team members. You should be able to identify their strengths and their weakness individually. Like, okay, like when there's a get some practical situation. Like, say there's a production bug. Okay, you get to notify it. Okay, you should be able to identify who's the person best to do that, because production solve production issues, those kind of things, it's very critical, right? So you should be able to identify, okay, who knows about this most and who is the quick thinker. Like, so having that overview on your team members is really important. So then also uh, communication wise. So you should be able to, communicating your to your the outside of your team as well as the within your team. So like, be transparent always to your team members, and also don't pass your stress to them. Just keep it with you and, motivate them up. And also, you shouldn't be taking the burden outside from your team to yours. Like, you should be able to bounce it back. Okay, so then your team members don't get more stressed. And also uh, mm, keeping your team you know mm, how do you call, keeping your team I said, like, you should be transparent to your teammates, right? So for to do these things, you can do some things like this, having like, just have one-to-one stay with them, every month, and just give them your feedback, and also get their feedback on you. So then you will, realize, like, what are the things you are doing wrong, and also they will get uh, idea about what they need to improve. uh, Also, like, in the team, like, if you take a team and like, you are in a process, right? So in that case, you can retrospect, maybe weekly, or maybe after a week release. So I don't know, it's like up to you, but retrospect. So then you will get to know this, what are you, what you need, what are you doing what you need to improve and what you need to keep on doing, those stuff. um, yeah, the handling teammates, communication. What was the other point, Hansamali, you wanted me to ask? Answer?
Acknowledge
Uh,
frequently because you are working in the front end technologies, and it's like massively updating with the versions and the library framework update. So how do you handle that?
yeah, it's actually a one line, like, you can't learn to swim without getting into water. Actually, like, you can't get into all these use all these technologies by practicing. I mean, like, after learning that. Actually, what I did was like, say you're starting to work uh, React.js, so learn the basics. You know, uh, get an idea about learn the basic. There are lots and lots of resources available in the internet, right? So you don't have to spend much time on, you don't have to follow how to print this thing and how to manage status and all. You just learn the basics and try it out in the sense, like, you when you're like in your work, when you're working, you can try it out, right? So, and also, learn from others, like, always question, why are you doing it? Why are we, sorry, why are we doing it like this? Why can't we use, you know why not going, uh, like, simple thing, why not going for a while loop? Why are we using a for loop here? Like, I don't know. Some things like that. Always question and get others' opinion. So then, like, uh, and also, if you have thoughts, like, just tell them, okay, I think you better use this technique than this one. So then you also learn yourself. Like, while you working, you will be learning. So that won't be a burden for you, and also, like, when others are getting updated, you are also getting updated. You don't have to follow all these, 101 of those forums, and get go there and follow tutorials and learn. Like, you can do it up to a certain extent, and then like, learn while you work. That's the best thing, I think, we can do on this.
Okay, Uthpala. One question regarding this. So we have so many front end technologies. We had JavaScript, jQuery, AngularJS, Angular, TypeScript, this Vue.js, React, Node, Express. So many things to learn. So, what are your tips to a newcomer? A newcomer who may be a undergraduate, a fresh graduate, or a person who is still in school. So they have ICT as as a subject in for their A level. So for a newcomer who wants to become a front end engineer or a full stack developer, so what are the tips that you can give?
Yeah, like, as a newcomer, you can, like, it's always try out things. uh, Even if you follow a tutorial, just do it yourself. And if you face some issue, just try to find the cause. Why it's not working? Why? And then you will, like, by practice, you will learn. Like, I don't really believe in, following these tutorials and reading those things, like, gonna work. You need to follow it. Like, if you are learning a new language, just say, like, you are learning Node.js, just think about a simple application, just write it yourself, and then question yourself, why it's not working, what is ideal here. And maybe if you have someone, someone, that is expert in that area, just get their opinion. So then, you, like, by this like, when you're learning like that, it will stay in your brain, like, forever. Like, not like, you won't forget that, because it's your experience, right? So, and also, don't just dare to jump, just do it. Like, if you like, you you have to start it, and then you will learn. like if you say you're joining as a junior developer to a new company, and you really want to join with that company, but you are not confident with the technologies they are asking for, just if they have selected you, just dare to jump, do it, and you will learn it. Like you are hired as a junior developer. They are not expecting you to be, take all these technical decisions, architectures, and those things. Just dare to jump. That's what I have to say.
Okay. And when you're playing a lead role and you manage a team under your shoulder, so you have to improve your team handling skills, communication, and better planning for the deliveries. The one point that you have told is attracted me. When we are having a conversation in the evening, maybe a nice coffee evening with your teammates, that you can discuss about the problems that has arised in your code, or maybe a new technology that you have used, a new technology that you have saw somewhere, and sometimes some communication issues with maybe you have told something stupid in the stand up in front of the client, so you can have a better idea from your teammates that you have done something wrong.
Yeah,
That for the for the lead and for the teammates, the both sides, so you can get that kind of a
yeah,
feedback session while you are having a coffee. Maybe you have to like set up that in the virtual environment nowadays, so we can't go physical. Yeah, that's a very good point that has attracted my mind actually. The another question I have, Pala, when you are working from home, so we always wanted to work from home when we are going to office. So now that has become a reality, but now we are like fed up with that. You have lots of work,
exactly.
you have like loads of work that goes beyond 9 hours, team calls or client calls that goes more than anticipated. So how do you handle all these things as a tech lead with bunch of teammates under you?
Uh, yes, I agree with you. This working from home, like we were like, wishing it to be, thing, and now it's there for us, but now we are regretting that. Yes, I agree with you. But yeah, you can, when you are working with the team, you can, just set yourself as the example. Uh, 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 Set your work life, I mean, your work hours, you know, set it. I'm working from 9 to 6. That's my hours. And like if no, like if possible, you don't have to don't answer your chat, all these chat messages you are getting after you're off. It may not be practical, but yeah, try to do that. And also, always come to work on time. Like start, I mean, like come to in the sense like start your work on time and try to finish it when you're planning to, like, okay, if you are planning to go off by 6, just do it. And the challenge I see in this working from home is, it's really hard to stop working. I will do this small bit and I will go offline, but we keep doing that. But just don't get that as a habit. Okay, if it is only really critical and people are going to die, PO is getting a heart attack kind of thing, you can do something, but always try to finish your work at the time, the boundary you have set. And also, there are some nice tips. Actually, I got this from my client. Like when you're working from home, just prepare like you're going to work. Get dressed up. And I know it's not practical. Like we all know, it's not practical to get a quiet environment at home. There are so many, these Zoom palm people coming and all these things. But yeah, uh, just get dressed up, and also try to have a quiet environment as much as possible. But if it is getting this, but just don't worry. And also, like, because like everyone knows that you're working from home, right? There's a purpose for that. You are not just doing it, and also, like, as you get dressed up, and also like, when before you start, like, if you, especially if you're a, if you're a housewife and a mother, just plan these things. Okay, so like, just like, prepare your lunch before you start. And also, if there's someone, like, so I'm just telling some practical situations, like, don't let your helper, your domestic helper, to come and ask hal kochara ripeti and those kind of things. Just plan it ahead, so then they don't have to disturb you. And also, like, it'll be a very, ease of mind for you as well. And also, especially if you are a mother, just uh, like, and also, like, if it is a toddler, I know it's really hard, because we that is understandable, but you can keep them busy. You can have your playpen next to your table, or maybe, like, I know you can't avoid noises as well, noises and all these things. You will get, you're in middle of an important meeting, and there might be some toy coming to smashing your face, like those kind of things can happen. But yeah, try to do that. And if you have a, like, much like adult child, like a 8 or 10 years old, so just keep them aside and let them, like, they also have schoolwork, right? So let them work with you. So then you might get distracted, but that is also, like, you can't avoid that distraction. But if they are, working in some other places and coming to you and asking those things, that is more disturbing to you, I think. So let them work with you as well, and also make it interesting for them. So then they will enjoy their work as well. Like, but one thing I do is I give my son a to do. Like, I have this app in my phone, and I'm asking him to add your homework to that to do list, and when you're done, just mark it. So he really enjoys it. He just want to finish his work and, mark it. He really enjoys it. So things like that, some small, like, you may have your own innovative ideas on this, but that is something I follow. So make it really interesting for them, so then you will get less distracted. um yeah, those are the things actually I can remember at this time.
Thank you very much, Utpala. Actually, those are very practical tips that you have given us, and that will be valuable for every one of us. Uh, Actually, Utpala has been working in this IT industry for more than a decade, although she doesn't look that old. So you have persisted
Thank you.
here for that much of time as a successful IT professional. So thank you very much for joining our meetup today. So let's go into our next session with Ushani. So Ushani is working as a HR manager in Yukon. She's working in the HR industry for 9 years and has been working in the IT industry for the past 5 years. So Ushani, we want to hear from you.
Hello, hi everyone. This is the first time that I'm speaking up on a forum like this, and I really would like to thank Hansa Mali and the organizers for this opportunity. Um, right, so this is so I'm not into as a tech person. I am working as an manager, HR, and operation in an IT company, which is a software development company, of course. And also I would like to thank for Uthpala for a lot of valuable points that she has given us, and there are a lot of points that I have taken for myself too. So that was very insightful for me. Being because I am I think I can still call me as a new mom, because I am a mother of 8 month old 8 month old baby. So yeah, I also had a shift, and then this information from Utpala is very useful for me, even though I am trying to balance my work and then also my personal life, and also in the midst of working from home, it's been very challenging. Um, so yeah, and about me, and then about my company is Yukon Software, and we are a software and hardware development company originating from the Netherlands with over 15 years of experience behind these words lies the core mission of the entire team: empower customer success. We do this through the production of cost-effective and innovative IT solutions to customers around the globe, and we have companies located in Ukraine, the Netherlands, and in Sri Lanka. So that's about my company, and we are a small company started back in 2017 with now over 25 employees. So yeah, that's about the company. So if I were to tell you about how I got into this industry, so I will start from my career and then how I started my journey into HR. Um, okay, so there are a lot of women here and also men right now participating in this meeting. So initially, when I completed my secondary education, I did not know which path to choose. So what I did was I took my mother's advice and then started learning HR for 6 months. In the meantime, I was also interested in psychology. So I did both the programs or the courses parallelly. Um, so yeah, that was also I did it for my fullest capacity, which was little difficult right after secondary education. Starting two different program means it was a challenge. So I focused on studying for 6 months in human resource management on a part-time basis at a leading institution in Sri Lanka. Um, then and on a full-time basis I also started the psychology program, which is a general psychology diploma at another leading institution. It's a private institute in Sri Lanka as well. So meantime, and then later, after studying for 6 months, I did not want to continue for a longer period without a job, because where I also thought I also should gain more experience and then also to study. So I wanted to be more independent without depending on my mother, because my mother was a single mother who raised me and then other two siblings as well. So that was a challenge for her as well. So as being Sri Lankan, and then it's been a culture in for Asians in general that we depend on our parents or the older siblings most of the time for advice or to take the initial steps right after our secondary education. So at that juncture, I only had completed studies in HR for 6 months, and I was looking onto for opportunities. And because I had completed that two certification program, I was able to grab onto one of the internship program for 1 month, which was solely based on recruitment and in a group of companies in Sri Lanka. So I took it off just to see how an industry works, how an working environment feels like. And so that was the challenge that I took. And right after, I got a job opportunity as an HR and admin assistant in another group of company. So I took the opportunity as well. And I started my career in HR, so and in administration. And when we are young and when we start a new job, there are a lot of work to be done, and to get the hands-on experience. It was such a challenging role for me at that time, because of the studies as well, because psychology was a different sector that I discovered. So yeah, it was a fully challenging times of my life. And so later, what I did was I wanted to dive deep into the psychology program, so I enrolled myself for an HND program and shifted my studies to part time parallelly, where I was working in a company as an HR and admin assistant. So since the psychology was a new area of subject, there were a lot of things, that a lot of books I had to read and do research about, and more to be more proactive and attend for seminars and things like that were also involved. So since I started halfway through, I got discouraged and I thought, what am I doing? Do I want to do HR, which is on pause for a while? So then I, kept pushing myself and successfully completed 1 year at my first job, and then I wanted to take a break and then also look for a new opportunity, because when I started as a junior or maybe an assistant, the pay was really really low. That could only accommodate for me for my transportation and for my attire, because women, we would like to dress up nice, and especially working into an admin and HR department, I have to be formally dressed nicely and also to be presentable. So, that pay was all gone for that. So I couldn't save up money because I really wanted to. But then again, I kept on looking for opportunities, and then right after, almost when I was completing 1 year, I found about the BPO process companies in Sri Lanka, where they paid pretty much a little higher, but then the workload was more, and where it's sometimes roster. But luckily, I got the opportunity to work as in the HR and admin department itself, and with a flexible timing. So that was the first time I encountered a flexible timing. So I had more time to spend on my studies, which I started off the HND in psychology. So while working there, I managed to complete. So it was 3 years that I spent at that company, where I worked tirelessly, because sometimes I go on for 12 hours of work and then catch up with studies afterwards. So somehow I successfully completed is the story behind it. And then I wanted to shift into a normal 9 to 5 job and Monday to Friday work, no rosters. So then I got the opportunity to work at an IT company, a software development company. It's not a surprise to y'all, as it's Gapstars, and where Uthpala is currently working. That was my first company into my IT industry journey. So where I learned a lot of skills there, and I was able to brush up. And I initially, my first assignment was into recruitment. So that was a huge challenge, that because I was completely from a different sector, and then moved to a software development company, thinking the role would be different. But initial assignment was the recruitment. So when I started, I had to learn a lot of new things, as in the technology stacks, how it works, which front end development technology works with back end, and it's so much more. So it was initially bizarre for me, because of my non IT background. So, but it was a good opportunity for me. And like how Utpala said, like about plannings and the Scrum meetings, and those agile methodology, also part of what we I when I was in Gapstars worked as well in the management team. So it was such a learning opportunity for me, and then that was amazing. And so there I spent it about I think I stepped into Gapstars in the year of 2016, and then I worked there for 3 years, and I got married. So I moved. I took a break, and then I got another opportunity at Yukon Software. So I started here. So that's how my journey was, as into IT. That's how I stepped into IT industry. So, yeah, so moving on, what tips I have for y'all in terms of attracting your dream job in the software development industry is that I learned pretty recently. So, 5 years back, but it seems to be like, very less years, because time flew so fast. So, yeah, when it comes to finding the right talent for our company, it's always a challenge, just as how a candidate finds an employer suits for their caliber. So when you all seek for jobs, you always should um, know your area of interest first. because you would be already having a job, right? But if you are not a fresher and if you already have an experience, you have an idea as to which path you should take, um, whether it be front end, back end, full stack, or UI UX designing, or QA or BA, or in a whatever. So that those all comes with experience as well. So what you should focus when you are finding for a job, after knowing your areas of interest, you also should have practice, and also you would have learned a lot of things and gained a lot of experience. Sometimes you may want to shift from the tech stack that you are right now. If you're a person like that, then you definitely need to get experience and learning, or maintain a learning journal, and then learning onto the new technology stack that you're willing to move, and do some projects and get some experience, so that then it will be easy for you to add it onto your resume. So your potential employer could go through your profile and then decide on picking you based on how your resume is. And also you can add it onto your cover letter as to why you would like to shift from your current tech stack, and with your reasons. So I think that will give a more clear understanding for your recruiter to know as why you're shifting. So that's like a little things that I want to know, let you know about. So when you check your JD, so JD at the job advertisement, please apply. If they have asked for seniors, then they are what they mean is that they are looking for an experienced person in that particular tech stack. So that they could hire them or give the assessment to see the criteria or how well that you will suit for this job description. So if you don't have that experience, then no point in applying unless you explain them why you would like to move on. If that's the case, if you're already a senior, then you would have to start from a junior level, where the pay also will be different than comparing to what you're getting. Apart from that, if you are a fresher, then if you're someone out of university looking out for opportunity, it's always best for you to start as an intern. So seek for internship opportunity. There are plenty of companies in Sri Lanka who provide internship opportunities, so you can explore and find out which field that you would like to go on, or based on the training, on the job training that you receive, you should be able to pick it up. Or otherwise, if you have any other plans based on your research that you've done in your fourth year in curriculum. So yeah, that's for freshers. So I think that's a little bit about it. And I would like to let you know about how your CV could be, or could be better in terms of attracting the recruiter as well. So when we post an advertisement, we get more than 500 CVs, right? So it's really hard to shortlist at times, but sometimes there are so many um, uh, profile that doesn't fit the JD. So that point, we just keep them in the the pool, and then check for later references. For your resume to be attractive or to attract the employer, what I would suggest is to keep your personal information at the beginning or onto a side, and also mentioned all of your projects, or in your, maybe share your GitHub URL, and so that they can check it if they are interested. And LinkedIn profile also would do, because that is also a place where we can find out your accomplishments, certifications that you have done. And also, if you have done any blogs, then do make sure to mention in your resume. So resume, talking about resumes, if it is more than 3 to 4 page, or more than 4 pages, I think it's better to try and limit it within 4 pages. So if you're a person with a lot of experience, more than 10 years or 11 years, you probably would have a different employer, working under different two or three working under two or three different employers, and also different technology, because based on the projects that you get at your company, you'll work, right? So you have gained more experience in different tech stack. So try to make it simple, and also to mention what you've done. What you could do is start from the most recent history, your employment history. So the last employee comes first, last employer comes first. So then you can mention the projects based on the job description or the advertisement that you have in your hand. You can check and compare and update or edit your resume accordingly with the most suitable tech stack or the suitable projects that you have worked on, including the including mentioning the domain as well. So that would be easy for a recruiter to shortlist your profile. So, and then I mentioned the technology stacks that you have worked on, the domain, and a little introduction about the project that you have contributed to. And also, it will be nice if you could add the team setup, as how many developers were in the team, and how many front-end developer, how many back-end developer. Did you have a scrum master, or you had a product owner and the PM and things like that? Just mention, and also mention what was your role in it. So yeah, so that's about the resumes. And if you were to be shortlisted, you would be contacted by an HR or the recruiter at the initial stage to know about to confirm the details which you have provided in your resume, and also to let you know what we expect as an employer over this particular project, to give you an introduction about the project, and also to get to know your skill set. At that point, um, yeah, you can also open up and tell what exactly you're looking for. Then the recruiter, so job is more easier to figure out as how we can proceed further. Yeah, let's move on to the next question, as how to attend interviews. Attending interviews these days is different than how it was previously. So back in the days, it was a physical interview that we had if it was an interview within the country. But now that we all are getting used to the new normal of working from home, attending meetings, including attending some daily meetings, scrum meetings, and other meetings with the developer teams as well. And so now it's very important to be prepared to attend the interviews over the call. So whether it be Zoom or Skype or Google Meetup, Google Meets. So you need to be prepared in advance. So how can you be prepared? Is mainly, I think it's actually a good way of practicing by speaking on a video call first, because it's better if it is a call, if the call is a video call, because the interviewer or the interview panel get to see you and your gesture and how you present yourself, and how enthusiasm you can show, or how they feel by talking to you. So it's better if you on your video camera, so that they can feel more closer and then connected to you while looking at you and having conversation. So yeah, how you can do it is, if you're not a camera friendly person, or if it was new for you, then I think it's better you can just practice yourself by recording it on your phone, like answering a popular question such as, tell me about yourself. So this will give you an opportunity to evaluate how you will look on video, and gives you better answers, and as well as get more comfortable in front of camera. You can also evaluate yourself and build your confidence level more, and so you can make appropriate changes by checking it. Or you can even get a second opinion from your friends, or like a trusted friend of yours, so that they can be honest to you and then tell you some of the valuable insights that you couldn't see for yourself. so that according to that you can amend it, as in you can improve yourself to be available for the interview. And next thing is that you cannot control your surroundings if you don't plan it ahead, because right now we are working from home and then we have other distractions, like kids maybe running around at home, or maybe uh, they don't know what's happening, so they may be, talking loud. So that's it's better, so you need to control your surrounding. So make sure to inform everyone at your home that you're attending a video interview and give them a heads up so that they are aware of it. And next thing is make sure to keep all of your devices, necessary devices, fully charged, mainly laptop, including your mobile phones. Last thing you want is your computer or phone to, turn off in middle of your interview. So once you're done, because and sometimes, if you can't, if you have missed it, then it's again we have to reconnect, and then it's a little bit of time waste there. So yeah, it seems a not professional answer to an interview panel that you could give later on. So that shows how unprepared you were. So better avoid those mistakes. So once you're done controlling your surroundings as well, you're almost ready for the interview, right? Last but not the least, make sure that you have a good internet connection to go for this call, and check your internet connection before your call as well. If you use a shared internet connection, then please let your family members know that to turn off their Wi-Fi for the duration of your interview, and also have a backup plan to use your mobile phone via hotspot in case of the power cut, because power cut is not a surprise for us in Sri Lanka. You never know when you will get a power cut. Sometimes there's uninterrupted connections too. So I think in that case, it's better to be prepared with the internet connection. I think that's pretty much it for you to be planned for a call. And I think this you should keep it as a practice even for you on a day-to-day basis when you're attending daily stand-up, which is a fixed time. So you can keep your family members informed that you have a stand-up meeting every day this time, so they are aware of it. So this will be more professional of you to manage the situation during client call as well. So yeah, that's pretty much the tips that I have for y'all with regards to this. And did I forget something? No, I'm good. So what else? If y'all have any questions, you can ask me so that I can help you more. Yeah, I think I am pretty much covered what I wanted to speak about today. So Hansamali, you have any questions for me?
Yeah, thank you very much, Shani. That was a very insightful session. I want to check with you. When we are working in the IT industry, we have to maintain our LinkedIn profile, and the HR guys, so may the recruiters are coming to and chatting with you, messaging you, and approaching you by looking at your LinkedIn profile. So, any tips that you want to provide us, how to keep update the LinkedIn account, maybe to add in the projects that you are working on, the clients, the countries, maybe the tech stack or the softwares that are familiar with. Any tips on that?
Yes, I think it is better because I know you were satisfied at where you are working, but then again, that's one of the crucial platform where the recruiters come approaching you for your skills. So when if you were to be hired by a good company, then of course they will look into it, because um, this industry is global, right? So everybody everywhere would want to find the talent. So LinkedIn seems to be a common platform. So it's better for you to update it along with your accomplishments and certifications, like for an example you do, right? Because you are an MVP professional and your profile is up to date. So even for the employer, when even after you are selected, for us to share it with the client, it will be easy for them to have a look at your LinkedIn profile at a glance and get to know more about you as well. So updating your LinkedIn profile would contribute to your selection process as well. So I think it is a better and wise idea, and you will also have a recommendation where you can also get the recommendation from your superiors, team leaders, or your peers in that matter, so that that will also boost up your profile more. So yeah, I think that is actually a good option, and even your CV should be updated with a LinkedIn link, the URL, so that even the employer can check it and then be up to date about the candidate profile. Did I
Yeah,
answer your question?
yeah. And also nowadays we have don't have to carry like bunch of papers, like 3-4 pages of CV to the recruiter or to the HR interview or to the company interview, because you have all of the resources available in the internet. You can maintain
Sure,
your blog if you are a
sure.
developer or a quality assurance engineer, so you can maintain a GitHub account. You can have your own YouTube channel to broadcast your technical knowledge to the community. So you have variety of forms and you don't have to carry out a paper as
Yeah,
the old days. Yeah, that
true, true.
was about that. So I want to check with you, is there any key attributes that the interview panel looking for nowadays? Because it's not like we are walking to the interview and sitting in front of the panel. The first impression when you are answering the call, maybe a Skype call, Teams call, or a Google Meet call, when you're answering the call from the company that you have been applied for. So, any key attributes that the interview panel looking?
Yeah, because initially, now that we are working from home, they see how well you are prepared to attend this call, right? First of all, to have a clear view of you, and then you have to, because sometimes what we notice most of the time is like people use their mobile phones, sometimes laptop, but then it's like this or like these that they have to look into. So the eye level should be like this. I hope you all can see me clearly, and then how I speak. So that is first thing, so that it gives a good gesture, and then also gets more understanding, and how well you're doing. The interview could be seen and then understood. Also, one of the experience that I had also while interviewing one of the candidate was the surrounding. I think I covered most of the point for your answer as well, but let me tell you this example, because one of the candidate, while answering the call, there was somebody, or the lady or someone was talking behind, and it was too loud, and then the interview panel got really disturbed. So these things will stay in mind, right? So when we think about shortlisting and moving to next point, then we see the unprofessionalism there, because if this were to happen during an interview, then this is most likely to happen during a stand-up meeting or the other times as well. So they have not prepared, they've not been prepared, is what we feel by this incident. So things like that. And to key attribute over the camera or like your video call, it's little difficult, because it's virtually we are speaking, so we don't know the body language much and how they speak. And so this clarity of this video call, and then the connection, and the is way more important, because this is the only way we can speak, get to know and understand better. And sometimes candidates keep repeating, saying, sorry, I can't I didn't hear it, so could you repeat it? So one or two times is okay, but if it is more than three times, then it's not a good uh, sign again, because that's, I think, depending on the internet connection, that's the factor which affects that particular incident. So yeah, I think if we are prepared with this itself, I think it's pretty good. And later on, when you are speaking about your career, and also the tech stack, so I think you will also do a what do you call, background check about the company, and initial interview itself you will get an update as what you're going to work on, or what's the domain, and what the team set up, things like that you will get to know. So I think doing a little bit of research and be prepared to ask more questions would be nice. So then that shows another skill of, like, being more proactive when communicating, and not having the fear of answering questions, or not having the fear of asking questions, I'm sorry. So yeah, those are the things, because we in the IT industry, or in the software development industry, what we want is the employees, the developers, to speak up and be honest and tell what they feel, and then if they think there's something going wrong and this is not right, they don't necessarily need to be, quiet, because we are an employer. They should speak up and share their thoughts, and say what could be better, like, they should be able to contribute. So that's how we can build a team, and also help our customers and the clients. So I think those entire part will be understood by this one, where when the candidate is more proactive, and also being asking questions, and yeah. So I think that would do.
Okay, Shani. And I'm going to ask this question behalf of the newcomer. Let's say a newcomer who wants to crack their first interview.
Right.
So, any tips for them? You know that girls are shy by nature. I
Yeah.
think you know that very well because you have worked in an IT industry and IT industry both. So when you are
Yes.
looking for a candidate, I guess you get bunch like a huge amount of male CVs and you get few female CVs. So do you know why, or do you have any suggestions to overcome that?
Okay. I think as to why this happens is that it's also from the interviewer side. So it depends on how well the interviewer or the interview panel is making them feel comfortable. Because when a person newly comes, or newly looking for a job and joins, they are desperate in getting a job, and so they will be nervous and scared. I think it's employer responsibility too, to make them feel welcome, and also have a casual chat, and then let them know, if you need anything, let us know, or could you have some water, or things like that. When we say that, I think girls also will get comfortable with this. But it's true that they are shy by nature, but then we can say, are you ready, or if you are okay, then you can come for us. So that's what we do in our company, in the employer perspective. But in employee side, yeah, that's something that I do to help them to feel better, so that they can perform better. And even if they are nervous, even the other team members, they get to know, and then they break the ice by saying something else, or like crack a joke, or ask something um, uh, irrelevant, like, out of the topic. Or so that is something that we do. But the shy nature, I think that's their nature. They will have to get more practice, or get they should attend more interviews and get the fear out of it. But there's nothing to be fear yeah, nothing to be fear of. But it is just, everybody is human, and then if this job is not there, it's okay. It's an experience, I think. You will have to take it as an experience, to make yourself more confident, and also to um, yeah, to make yourself more confident. So that's a practice. So I think you shouldn't be, if you are nervous, it's okay for the first time, but then afterwards you will get used to it, and then you know what you want to go for, and then you will itself say no for things that you should say no. So yeah, it will come in practice, but try it. You have to try out, and also be more proactive, or also you be ready to ask questions. So then you have nothing to lose by asking questions. So I think that will help you. End of the day, you will also feel more confident that you also asked a question and they answered. So yeah, did I answer that question, or you
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
more?
Shani. No, you answered the question. Thank you very much for those points. So the another question, the final question we have, let's say now we have walked through couple of interviews, first round to second round, maybe to a client interview, and then finally comes the day that you have to go to the HR interview to get the job offer. So when it comes to the job offer, so how you can become a better negotiator, how to negotiate your salary or the package.
Okay, so about salary and packages, it completely depends on each level, junior, mid-year, senior, and tech leads and architects, right? So mostly after senior level, they are like pretty much confident in what they want and whether they look for technology stack or whether they look for money, things like that. They are well aware of it, so they are fine. But then um, sometimes they make I don't say they make mistake. That's their preference, right? This is what they should go for. But what I would say is, if the company, if the employer whom you have been interviewed is being honest with you when it comes to your tech assignments, right? They usually give a technical assignment for you to complete, and then also they will have definitely a technical interview to clarify how well you have done in the assignment, and what or maybe if there were points that you need to improve, or if you did any mistakes they would like to discuss. So if you have given that opportunity, then you will know how well you have done, right, in the technical assignment. So based on that, go with your gut feeling. So sometimes employer, the company might say, we are unable to offer what you asked for, but we could negotiate your salary if you're open for it. So if they say, then I think you listen to them and then make a decision. Take your time and make a decision, because if they are being honest about your technical assignment, and then you also feel that is right, and if you are also aware of the change, um, I think it's better to go with the negotiation part. So how they do the negotiation is mostly they will ask for what you they will give what you ask for in terms of pay, but not at the beginning. What the employer prefers to do is to offer you a little bit less amount than what you have expected or asked for, and they give you a 6 months or 3 months probation period, and based on your performance, they will give what you ask for or little more than that. So that part you have to be wise enough to negotiate. I think it's a win-win situation, because based on your technical assignment and the interviews that you have done through, they will make they have already set their mind where you stand in terms of um, where you stand in terms of their company standard and then the employees, right? So based on that only, they are saying that, okay, we could do little less this time, but then definitely after, when you are completing probation period, upon your successful review, we could give you a higher package, or what you have asked for, or little more than that. So that part you can negotiate it. That also depends on what you want for. So if you think you have lot to improve, and if you accept that, then I think it's a better way of going for it, because then you get a chance to prove yourself, you that you deserve of that amount, or you worked for it, right? So I think that flexibility should be there in developers if they have not done extremely great in the interviews or the technical assignment. I know, because they may be a senior, or in a lead level maybe, or in, like, I'm talking about seniors, but then again, since they have been working on frameworks and then working continually for a long time, sometimes they forget certain things, and then it may be like a simple easy fundamentals. So if that is not there, because that's what the company wants for, right? So that's how the company makes decision. So I think it's better to go with the negotiating part, so that you have your guts as well, you feel proud about yourself by performing and then getting what you want for. But it's in my opinion, but it depends completely on the candidate as well, what they want.
Thank you, Shani. You actually answered all the questions we had. So, thank you very much, Utpala and Ushani, to join with us to share your journey and your experience. Personally, I got motivated to be a working mom and also got some nice tips from Ushani to create a CV, how to face a client meeting, how to join a client interview, kind of stuff. So it's the new normal is working online, so we have to practice more and more for that. I think this will go for another year or so. So we have to improve our experience and also our improve our attitude towards the working in online. I hope it's same with you also. You also got some nice tips from our speakers. Thank you very much all of you for joining this Women in Tech June meetup. See you guys in the next event. Goodbye.